All right. Am I live? I think I am. All right. Just kind of looking right. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am here. I am live. I'm so excited to be here. The summer was technically still summer, but it doesn't feel like it because it's September now. But the summer was a little crazy because I was like traveling so much. I was at the beach, so I wasn't consistently doing my forecast every Friday. So it feels really good to be back here and in my office and doing this energy forecast for all of you. I am tuning in to some really big crazy energies this month. I know there's been some crazy transformations in my own life, and I know there has for a lot of you. So I'm really excited to move into September and just the fall in general because even though it feels like there might be some shit hitting the fan, it also feels like super exciting to me where I keep getting these waves of like, just like pure excitement of like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen type of a thing where, but it feels exciting and it feels like there's so much forward movement and momentum that I know things are just gonna be like rapidly shifting for the rest of the year and beyond. And then 2022 is just gonna be like a whole other thing. But really, what I'm tuning into for September and even just this week. So, I know I've been mentioning a lot that I've been following the astrology lately pretty closely because it's fucking fascinating. Like, if you look at the different astrological aspects that are happening and what they mean, and then correlate it with the things that are happening on the planet, it's like, holy shit, like, this is like really, there's some really crazy things going on, and I think it's only gonna speed up. It feels like the energy is speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. So on September 6th we have the new moon in Virgo, and that feels like it's really expansive, and it feels like it almost feels to me energetically like this energetic stamp, like this, like, not a roadblock, but like it's almost like an ending stamp. Like when I'm tuning into it, the guys are showing me like the back of a book where like an old time book that says like the end. Like that's what it feels like to me around this new moon. Where it's like a stamp of an ending of an era, an ending of something really big. Like the word karmic cycle keeps coming to my mind, where it's like the end of a karmic cycle, that, and like a pattern that you might have been playing out for lifetimes. And I'm seeing this in my own life in many ways, and I'll be sharing more and more about that as the weeks and months go on. But like, things are happening so quickly. I just want to have my wits about me before I share, but I'm going to share some other stuff that's been going on in my life. But anyway, so what it feels to me, like I said, is this energetic stamp of something ending. And it feels like it's this big pattern that not only were you playing out in this lifetime, but you might have been playing out for many, many lifetimes and doing the same kind of like dance with somebody, or the way you are engaging with a person or in your relationships or even with the world in general in some way is coming to an end. And it's going to feel like really complete for you. Like it's not going to feel like, oh my God, this thing is ending. It's going to feel like I'm complete with this and I'm ready to move on. Like that's the energy that I'm really tuning into for this week in particular. Like there's something that really seems to be coming to completion. Oh, good. I'm seeing comments. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Alana. Oh yeah, Andrea definitely wrapped up a huge karmic cycle yesterday. Yeah, so we're really feeling this energy of like, there's something really big coming to completion. And I'd love to hear if anyone else watching, A, just say hi to me so I know that you're here, but B, if you're feeling this energy, because it feels like there's a huge opportunity to do things differently and live in a way that's actually much more aligned with your mission and purpose on this planet. Like when I'm tuning into it, they're actually showing me like a darker veil of energy that's being lifted from your being. And when I say you, I just mean like the collective, but they're showing me an image of a person with and it's almost like there's like this magnet like sucking this darker veil of energy away so that there's like this illumination happening. And not only that, but there's an ability to more clearly connect with who you really are and why you came here. And also the ability to more clearly connect with your guides, with spirit, and allow yourself to like really receive these impulses that you're getting from those unseen forces that are supporting you. And like the guides are really wanting me to remind everyone, they've been actually telling me this all day. I was just driving my kids to my parents' house, and like the whole car ride, they're like, the unseen forces. They're telling me to remind everyone that there are so many unseen forces that are supporting you in your mission right now, like more than ever before. And they want you to really be not only in awareness of that, but also in acknowledgement and also gratitude of that. So taking the time each day to like really feel into and acknowledge not only your guides, but all of the unseen forces that are helping us move forward with this mission of creating the new earth, right? And it's like so important to like continue to tune into that, because with the way the world is, if we're just like looking out here, it looks like a fucking shit show, right? It's like everything seems like it's falling apart. There's like so much polarization, so much division, so much trauma and horrific things happening, right? So much fear being propagated constantly. It's like everything, like be afraid of everything, and be like something's gonna get you, you know, that's the underlying theme. And or the underlying programming, right, that's been for a long time. So if we just look out there, it can feel like we are kind of like on an island, or we are kind of like all alone, right? And like what they're really wanting me to share, and what I've been feeling so deeply, is like it's actually the complete opposite. Like not only are we all, especially those of us who are awake, those of us who are light workers and who are on our mission right now, we're so connected with each other, and our hearts are so open to one another, and we're resonating so deeply with one another. But also there's all of these unseen forces, like our guides, the angels, the fairies, these interdimensional beings that only want the earth to go through this ascension process and are doing whatever they can to facilitate that. Like the record keepers, like there's so many unseen forces, like the earth herself, like there's so many forces that we just don't see in our physical 3D reality with our eyes that are supporting us. So they really want everyone to just like take a moment to acknowledge that every day and feel how those forces are supporting you, and also like really trusting in the information that you're receiving. Because I still have these moments where I'm like, am I making this up? You know, because I will get these like downloads, or these kind of wild visuals, or ideas or concepts, or knowings that come to me. And I still have these thoughts of like, am I making this up? And like my guides are like, well, where do you think it's coming from? Like this isn't coming out of nowhere, you know? And they're always kind of like yelling at me and like telling me like, no, like this is real. Like shit doesn't just come out of nowhere. Like we have this programming that like, oh, like your imagination is something you just use as a kid to like make things up and make believe play. But really your imagination is actually the way that you create, and it's the way that you start to take your energy to create what you want in the 3D. So it's actually like your most powerful tool of manifestation. And we've been taught that it's just like this random thing that you use to make up shit that doesn't mean anything when you're a kid. And that's like it's the complete opposite. It's like it's our like most powerful tool for creating what we, not only what we desire, but what we envision for the planet, and what we envision for creating the new earth, right? So really allowing yourself to like completely trust your imagination with what's coming through, instead of feeling like instead of being like, oh, I'm just making that up, or like dismissing anything. And that's like the other thing they were telling me earlier is like, don't dismiss anything. Like every download that you get, everything that comes through to you is information and valid in some way. So really allowing yourself to use that information, especially right now, because we have the ability right now to create on a massive level, because we're ending these huge karmic cycles right now of oppression, and from a collective level, but also on an individual level. There's this huge like pull or invitation or opportunity or call to really look at what have you been saying yes to that you really meant no, and where have you allowed yourself to be coerced into something that you don't actually want, right? And I think there's a huge way that by us acknowledging those things, that's how we end these karmic cycles. That's how we're ending these huge patterns that we've been doing for lifetimes, so that we can actually create the new earth, because that's what we came here to do. If you're here, that's what you came here to do. Okay, I'm just checking the comments. Hi Lily, hi Eva, hi Brittany. Yes, totally agree, totally agree. Awesome. Okay, so that's really like what I'm tuning into specifically for this week. But the other thing I want to talk about is just this shift in energy, because I know you guys have all like you all have told me since I've been talking about the energies of July and August that you have felt it too, just the intensity of July and August, and how the energy was so intense. Like we're literally, to me, felt like a pressure cooker. It felt like we were like being squeezed, or like I felt like I was under the gun basically. And like with me, what was going on is like I was receiving all of this I don't want to say receiving, I was experiencing a ton of animosity and pressure, and just kind of feeling like I was always having to defend myself or going head to head, especially with my family, because of our different views on what's happening in the world. Basically, what was going on is I have chosen at this time not to get the vaccination, and everyone should do exactly what they want to do. And I don't like judge anyone, but that's what I was choosing. And my family was really not okay with that. And we were kind of going head to head a lot. And I felt like this was happening for a lot of people. That I was feeling like I really had to like look within myself and stand really deeply in what I felt was right for me, because it could have been really easy for me to do what everyone else wanted me to do. And I felt like I was ending this karmic cycle of doing things because that's what I thought other people wanted me to do. And I think so many people can relate to this, because what we're ending right now is a karmic cycle of self-betrayal, of feeling like we have to do something because this is what other people say we should do, because we want to stay connected to the tribe, because we want to feel like we're part of something, because we're scared. And this is like, this old programming that if we don't do that, then we actually won't survive. Because when we were younger, we had this experience of, well, if I do these certain things and I act this certain way, then I'll receive love. And it's this mentality of feeling like you have to do what everyone else is doing in order to stay connected, to stay part of the tribe, to survive, right? So we connect actually betraying ourselves with survival. And I think that's part of the bigger karmic cycle that we're ending. And I know for me, it was this really strong feeling, and it was around the Aquarius full moon, I think in July, where I really started to feel it, where I had this really strong feeling of like, I literally couldn't betray myself anymore. All of the ways that I used to do things because I thought other people wanted me to, but they weren't actually things that I wanted. It felt impossible for me to do that anymore. Like it just felt like it ended where I couldn't do it anymore. And I think a lot of people were feeling the same thing where they were feeling like I have to stand in what I feel is right for me in whatever way it was, right? Regardless of whatever issue it was, right? Mine just happened to be the vaccination. And I know a lot of people have been super polarized about that. And it's been this crazy thing happening on this planet, right? And there's these very two polarized ways of thinking about it. And but a lot of people, I think, were coming to this place, not only around that, but around everything, where it's like, I have to do what feels right to me because it's getting harder and harder to be someone I'm not. And this is something that I actually predicted in the very beginning of the year when I did my 2021 predictions. Is I was shown very clearly that one of the energetic shifts that we were going to experience this year was that it was going to become extremely difficult to do anything that wasn't aligned for you. It was just going to feel so incredibly uncomfortable to do anything that wasn't in full alignment for you at that time. And so that's why we're seeing more and more people quitting their jobs, starting their own businesses, doing what they actually want to do. One of my really good friends just decided to take a leave of absence from her job, and her husband and her husband bought a sailboat, and they're like sailing around. Like people are doing things like that all the time because it's getting harder and harder to lie to yourself. The energies just don't support it anymore. And I think that's really what we're seeing now. And what I'm really tuning into around September 6th is, like I said, this stamp, this ending of the ways in which we actually betrayed ourselves. And now it's just getting harder and harder to do anything that is just not the fullest expression of you. So that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm tuning into. And really, the more you try to do anything that doesn't align for you, because for whatever reason, the harder it's going to get. And that's just what I feel like it's going to be more and more and more. However, there's this amazing opportunity to, as you complete with those cycles, there's this amazing opportunity to create something that is like better than you could even imagine right now. For you to step into an energy that is something that's better than you could even think of at this time, because you've created so much space by clearing out these old patterns from the past, that now you're able to step into this new energy that you have so much space for more light to come in. You have so much space for more alignment with your true essence, and your ability to really raise your frequency has really shifted and come online. So that's what I'm really tuning into for this week and September in general. It's a super exciting time. It's super expansive, and the energy has really shifted from like July and August, where it felt like a lot of pressure, and like I was talking about, that like pressure cooker energy, where now it feels like something has lifted and we now have the ability to really rise into what we are really meant to do. And if you're already doing it, it's just going to be in an even deeper way. Like I know for me, I have been feeling just super like I need to say everything that I feel. And I'm not even worried anymore about like, I used to be so worried about making people uncomfortable because, I say things that make people feel like they have to confront themselves or their truths. And like, I don't have the ability to worry about that anymore. I just feel like for me, it's making me feel this deeper energy of not only wanting to fully express how I feel, but wanting to help other people do the same. And also really revamping my business and my programs to not only help people have the biggest spiritual awakening and be as tuned in as possible spiritually and just up the ante on the advancement of our spirituality and the advancement and acceleration of our soul, but also the advancement and the acceleration of the planet and really moving forward and creating the new earth. So I'm actually now revamping my program, The Awakening, to make it more advanced spiritually and also more directed into creating for people who are really interested in not only advancing themselves very deeply on a spiritual level, but also who are really interested in being leaders in moving the planet forward on a spiritual level. So stay tuned for that. In the middle of the month, I'll be relaunching that, and I'm super excited about it. And then also right now, what I was really guided to do that I'm like super freaking excited about is I'm going to be offering personal energy forecasts. So similar to what I do every Friday, but like for you specifically. So I was guided to just open up 5 of those. So I have 5 spaces for those. And I rarely do one-off readings anymore. So this is like just a really fun, cool opportunity. And I don't know if I'll be doing it again anytime soon, but it's a 60-minute personal energy forecast. So I'm going to be going into your records, talking to your guides, and just letting you know exactly what I see coming down the pike for you energetically for the month of September, what is blocking you from aligning to your highest timeline, clearing those blocks, and then actually aligning your energetic frequency to your highest timeline so that you can really expand into and create exactly what you want this month and beyond. So I have 5 spaces for those. I'm only leaving them open until the end of day Monday. So I'll put the link for that in the comments here. But I'm super excited for those because it's just really fun to kind of look into what we see coming down the pike for you and then figure out how we can align you to that fullest expansion and really step into the full expansiveness that your soul is wanting to step into. Because that's always the information that I get in the records is I just see the exact way that your soul is wanting to expand, and then we clear everything out in order to get you there really quickly. So if you want to grab one of those spaces, just reach out to me, or I'll just put the link here so you can book it. Okay, so I think that's all I have for today. Just those 2 really big energies that I'm seeing is really, really, really a big deal. I'm just seeing the, yes, Brittany's talking about you got to put boundaries in place. So true. Yeah, Laura's saying my job needs to go soon. Yeah, I know a lot of people are feeling this way, and especially with just all the changes that are happening with the way people are working. And I know a lot of people who work in schools are just getting fed up with how everything is working, and the systems are really crumbling. And I think over the next few years, we're really going to see a huge shift in the way the systems are in general, and there's going to be some really new and amazing things coming forward of new ways of doing things. And I feel like super excited about that because it just feels like there's a lot of possibility, whereas in the summer it definitely felt like there was this crunch. And don't get me wrong, I still think it's going to be intense in the fall because I see the energy speeding up and I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes happening. But it also feels like there's this expansive opportunity for a ton of growth if you're conscious and if you're willing to do the work. So yeah, so that's really what I'm tuning into. If you want to do the personal energy forecast, I would jump on it now because I only have 5 spaces. It's going to close on Monday. And I'd love to have you for that because those are just super fun and we can get so much done and really propel you forward energetically to create huge expansion in September. and just really align your energetic frequency in a way that you won't even really have to think about it anymore. You're just going to be energetically aligned, so things just fall into place much more quickly. And that's the power of the way that I work in the records is the energy just comes through me and aligns your frequency to your highest timeline. So super excited for those, and really great to connect with all of you. And please let me know if you have questions, and have a great weekend, everyone. I will talk to you soon.